You know what? Last week I was at a wit's end. I was beaten down and seemingly out. This week, we make sure that doesn't happen. This week, Monday Night Raw bounces back again.
Everywhere I go, there's nowhere I belong. And anyone should tell me where will I find? 'Cause everywhere I go, I'm always on my own. Can anyone just catch me before I drown? Can anybody make me feel like I'm not the stranger tonight?
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another 04 War, the network save on TEW 2020 between me and my good friend Stuart Irvine. He is Friday Night Smackdown, I'm Monday Night Raw 2004 WWE. We are on the road to WrestleMania. We are 2 weeks away, so this is a big show in the build to WrestleMania on Raw and Smackdown. Of course, I've got some big matches planned. We already know some of them. What about the Undertaker versus Batista? Let's see what happens with that one. That one should be interesting. I know over on Smackdown, here's a little spoiler for you. That's right, Kurt Angle versus Scott Steiner. Hate it so much. Yeah, we need to bounce back. We need this. Smackdown is 2-0 up in the month. If we win this week, win this episode, we go into the final episode still alive, looking for a WrestleMania main event. So we need to win this one. If you like the video, like the series so far, make sure to drop a like on it, subscribe to the channel. We are very close to 400 as of recording this. I'm hoping we'll be over 400 by the time this video comes out. That'll be very nice. Thank you very much if so. But yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, and let's get on. Monday Night Raw first, that big WrestleMania tight main event with Taker and Batista. But that's not all. We've got a lot going on in the show and a lot to do. So let's go Monday Night Raw first. Okay, we kick off with the pre-show for Monday Night Raw. And yeah, the big show carries this one. We put the knockout artist on the pre-show here, which isn't nice to Big Show, but he's put in a 75, so he's clearly not bothered. They had a decent little match actually with two veteran baby faces at this point, Scotty 2 Hotty and Spike Dudley. I've paired them together quite a lot. We haven't officially made them a team as such, but they're there to put people over. They've done that here. And the king of the pre-show continues his run.
I've got to ask the question. When did you get in the pre-show title?
There have been comments. Maybe we can put something in the works. But the problem is I also kind of like the tag team of the knockout artists. So, you know...
Could be a tag title. I don't know. I'm just saying. Poking out ideas.
We'll see. But yeah, the king of the pre-show, Jamie Noble, gets the win with pay dirt. Good stuff here. Good stuff. Big Show carries it, but good stuff. Second pre-show match, Matt Hardy defeats Funaki in 51. This is okay as well. Matt Hardy just getting a bit of win, getting maybe some momentum a bit towards him. Poor Funaki, but again, he's there to put people over. This is fine. Pre-show, this is fine. And again, I look at these pre-show matches and I go, if I put that on Raw in the middle of the card, would it suck too much? Now, the tag match we just saw, no problem. This, it may bring it down a bit, but it's not too bad.
I mean, I would say that, but then to be fair, I've had like shows. I think my knockouts, and maybe when I'm trying something else, like they get one out 50s and 60s. So yeah. It's you don't want to get what you got. I think last week, like a 36 or something last time. You don't want that. Yeah.
No, definitely.
You should be. I would say if you wanted to try something out, it just works. So if you wanted to, but
it's just testing matchups, see what works, see what doesn't. Those two pretty good. Let's open the show though. We're going to open the show with the number one contender to the WWE Championship, Mr. WrestleMania himself, Shawn Michaels. I'm going to click next segment. 96, that's a good start.
Yeah,
that's a good start. Shawn Michaels comes out and he gets on the mic and he's talking about WrestleMania. And before he can go too far into his speech, the music of Brock Lesnar hits and out comes the WWE Champion. We know these two cannot touch each other. So that does mean they can have a little bit of a promo battle here without worrying about Brock beating him up, Shawn having to protect himself, whatever. Do you know what I mean? We know they can speak on the mic and kind of say what they want because the other person just has to listen. Michaels praises Brock Lesnar here. He says, look, you've had an incredible 2 years. Well, 1.5 years, 2 years. Let's say 2 years.
Yeah.
But this is WrestleMania. Now, last year at WrestleMania, you, Brock Lesnar, were so determined to prove yourself on the biggest stage, you nearly killed yourself. Referencing the shooting star press botch, which legit nearly killed Brock Lesnar, for the record.
Literally.
But Shawn Michaels says that was you trying to handle the pressure of WrestleMania. Shawn says he is Mr. WrestleMania. The pressure doesn't faze him, and he'll prove it by becoming the WWE champion. Now, Brock obviously can retort a little bit, and Brock says Shawn talks about pressure. But what about the pressure that Brock Lesnar is going to put on that weak back of Shawn Michaels? Now, you got to remember, Shawn Michaels had 4 years out. Shawn Michaels is not meant to be wrestling, really. It's a miracle that he even is. And we can play on that here because this is Brock Lesnar, the most dangerous competitor to be in the ring.
I mean, I'm surprised I'm surprised you didn't bring up like this guy's got a history of taking out legends. I know it's Randy Orton's gimmick, but surprised you haven't gone for the whole like you took out Hulk Hogan without making a sweat.
The idea here is, as Brock says with his final lines, at WrestleMania, Brock Lesnar will remain WWE champion and Shawn Michaels will leave in a wheelchair. Brock says he will paralyse Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania.
Tough talk.
We'll see.
But 96, great start.
Great start, yeah, great start. That is before the opener, and Brock Lesnar's working in the opener here. We announced it last week. I know. It's Brock versus Booker T in a rematch from No Way Out. They've got a 93 that day. What can they do? Tonight, an 88. So not quite as good, but it's still, I mean, it's not bad, is it? Let's be fair. Jeez.
I mean, to be fair, high standards we both have. Like when we get an 88, it's like, it's not good enough. It's like it's high standards.
I know you know. I was hoping they would do on a similar level, but I suppose that was pay-per-view last time out. This is a TV match. They got about 12 minutes. Brock, what have I done? Oh, I'm an idiot.
What have you done?
Oh, I'm an idiot. This is meant to be Brock Lesnar beating Booker T with an F5.
Oh. All I'm saying to that is just this mistake is quite common by you sometimes.
Well, you know what? It's fine. We'll book on the fly. Shawn Michaels was on commentary for this, for the record. He was on commentary.
I mean, I know how you can get around that pretty easily.
Well, I was personally just going to say Shawn Michaels distracted Brock Lesnar, and that led to the scissors kick and the win. But if you've got something better, now's the floor is yours.
No, that's exactly what the thing I'll go for. Just 'cause it's the only way you can get around it, because. Yeah, it's just it plays in the story. So technically, it could be a good thing for it. But I love the way it's like it's a mistake, but it gets an 88. It's like this is a.
I wonder if it would have got better if Brock went over. Who knows? Who knows? To be honest. But anyway,
88.
Fine,
That's too great.
Fine. Booker T beats Brock Lesnar. It kind of works for what I'm going to do in a bit, and I'll explain it. After the match, Brock, now embarrassed after being distracted by Shawn, leading to a loss, knows that Shawn Michaels can't touch him and decides to take that anger out on Booker T for another very good segment. 93 for this one.
Booker T, man. I feel for him. He's getting destroyed by Brock Lesnar in this segment. Poor Booker T.
Shawn Michaels starts this bit of the segment, coming into the ring to celebrate with Booker T, but then Brock comes back to his feet. Shawn obviously can't touch him. Brock with the F5 to Booker T. Let's say he does an F5 from the ring to the outside as well, just to, because I think it'll look cool.
I mean, off the apron. I think I've seen him do it before.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Or if you really want to be really over the top, you can always F5 him off the stage if you really want to be too
We don't
far.
want Booker T to be injured, for the record.
Okay, fair enough.
But 93, great start to the show so far. Brock, Shawn, killing it. Very, very good. So let's see where we go next. We're going to go to break. We're going to come back to break to the music of Shane McMahon. I'm not going to press next just yet. Shane McMahon comes to the ring and invites the Intercontinental Champion, Randy Orton, out. Okay? He says, look, Randy Orton, you've been a good Intercontinental Champion since the draft. You've represented this brand pretty well. But a McMahon trait is turning a stone into diamond. At WrestleMania, you are going to be tested because he can reveal that at WrestleMania, Randy Orton will defend the WWE Intercontinental Championship in a fatal four-way elimination match. Orton freaks out and he's obviously not happy, and then he turns to Shane and says, well, who am I facing? And Shane says, glad you asked, because there are two men that, in my opinion, have quite a justifiable reason to think they deserve a championship opportunity. One of those men we've already seen tonight. And if he's cleared to wrestle at WrestleMania, Booker T will be one of the men. Another man is Goldberg, the man that Randy Orton kind of screwed last week thanks to Ric Flair. And then the third man, look, we're going to make them earn it. The third man will be the winner of the next matchup. So, that gets an 85. Whoa, I like
potential.
This. This is good. That gets an 85 rate segment. Randy Orton's going to stick around to watch the match and to figure out who the fourth man is. But so far, it's Orton versus Goldberg versus Booker T versus a mystery man at WrestleMania, elimination style for the Intercontinental Championship. That's what you've got to take away from it. Whew, a lot to get through there.
Okay, so I guess if you just keep on the 80s, might be able to get 100 or something.
It's a very good show so far. It's going to come down in a bit, but we've packed a lot of big stuff in straight away. But the match itself, then, the qualifying match in a way, sees John Cena take on A-Train. Two men who I think could mesh well together.
I mean, I have to admit, from watching again 2 Smackdown, that was a pretty good match back in the day. So, it's got potential.
And obviously, look, I can hear you back there on YouTube and on Twitch and saying, right, A-Train getting in that match, is he? No, of course he's not. John Cena wins, all right? John Cena wins, 74. But the point is John Cena had to earn his way in because he hadn't been screwed by Orton yet. So John Cena wins. It's Cena, Orton, Goldberg and Booker at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental Championship, okay? Happy now? God.
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see how this match goes because obviously you'd put like Booker T, John Cena, yes, but this might be a weird thing to say. But like, isn't Goldberg like kind of? I mean, for the story it makes sense, but like for the odd one out because he's like he would be in that kind of in that kind of scene, like that kind of
No, you wouldn't think so, but maybe what I'm trying to do is raise the level of the Intercontinental Championship.
Fair enough. I'm just like, if I remember, if this was like in 04, it would be like, oh, Goldberg's in. Yeah.
It's also because if Goldberg wasn't part of this match, he's not got a place at WrestleMania, if I'm really honest. But, yeah. We'll make it work. 74, though, for a pretty good match up here. Cena carrying it, 70 from him. A-Train 58, boosted, I'm assuming by John Cena's momentum at the moment, which he has got a lot of momentum. I mean,
to sit there and just hit an FU on how big A-Train is, that's impressive. So.
Yeah. Solid TV match. It's all I wanted from that, and that's what I got, so I've got no problem. We said Randy Orton, though, stuck around at ringside. You saw John Cena win, and as John Cena has his hand raised, well, maybe a little bit of inexperience in a way from Cena, who's not really been at the big level yet. That's weird to say.
No way.
But he's attacked by Randy Orton. 85 rate segment for this, because as you see, there's someone else involved. I'll get to it. Another good segment. Randy Orton... Yeah, hits him with the RKO, goes to set up for another one, and the music of Goldberg hits. Randy Orton is waiting for Goldberg down the aisle. Goldberg sneaks in behind him from the crowd. Spear to the Intercontinental Champion. Goldberg stands tall, and it looks like the biggest threat to Randy Orton's championship at the moment. You know?
Yeah, I mean, just be the guy. I mean... I'm intrigued. This is a weird match because I don't know. Like the beautiful thing about this match, you don't actually. there is like legit reasons for all four men to like three men to win the title.
Yeah.
So like I'm intrigued to see what you go for.
It's going to be interesting. I'm really happy that this got such a good rating. Obviously, look, Goldberg and Orton are putting on some great stuff, but the fact that Cena was in there and can be in these sort of segments is just going to boost John Cena, and that's
options, gives you potential that maybe.
And whoever wins at WrestleMania, John Cena comes into this as probably the weakest of the four wrestlers at this point, and pushing John Cena to the same sort of level as the other guys is one of the biggest things I want to do. Good start to that. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, Rey Mysterio is going to cut a promo on Chavo Guerrero for 71. Just previewing WrestleMania, promoting it a bit more, talking about how Rey feels betrayed by Chavo. And you know what? Just because he's a Guerrero doesn't mean he can get away with this anymore. And Rey Mysterio will get revenge at WrestleMania. But Rey's in action. He's teaming with Billy Kidman against Garrison Cade and Mark Jindrak. This is where the show could go off the rails, I'll be honest. The Filthy Animals then against the heel team gets a 61. Okay. That's better than I would think it would be, considering you've got Jindrak and Cade in there.
Yeah, that was not. I mean, if you look at it from the, I guess in what's got that good score is probably the Filthy Animals have probably got a good. Did he get like chemistry, good chemistry type?
Yeah,
stuff,
chemistry boost as well. And to be fair, the heels had a chemistry boost. It looks like, but it's Rey Mysterio carrying it. Rey Mysterio put it at 79. He is putting on some good matches at the moment, which makes me excited for WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's got potential. He's got potential. I mean, we all know how much potential Rey Mysterio's got. I'm intrigued to see if you put. I don't know if you've done it yet, but like put him against some of the top tier. Because obviously, if he's getting a 79, if you can put him against someone like I don't know, Brock again or like Shawn Michaels, and you got potential there for a really high rated match.
At the moment he's not. But who's to say what the year holds for us, right? Last week, Chavo Guerrero attacked Rey Mysterio. Remember after the match. Well, Chavo tries the same trick, but this week it don't work. Rey sees it come in, counters into the 619. The champ stands tall this week, 75. Good stuff again. For a Cruiserweight Championship storyline to be getting these sort of ratings. Boom.
I mean, well, to be fair, that kind of rating's my dream for the women's division. To be fair,
and I'd argue they're the same sort of level. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm building it around Rey. But you've got Trish who can put on the same sort of rating, so that's why I'm pleased with it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, if I can get, I'm honestly thinking if I can get that soon, or in a couple of weeks or months, then I'll be very happy. But I'll be the same happiness as you are right now. So, but yeah, 75, great, it's pretty good.
I've just realised, I'm now going to edit this out, but I've just realised my laptop's about to die for some reason. There we go. Okay, we'll carry on then.
Too excited, that's what it is.
And here's one I'm kind of stealing from. Something they did in 2004, actually. But it wasn't these guys. Look, all I'm going to say is there's a segment here for 66 with JBL and Ron Simmons. And JBL introduces a video that has been created by some eagle-eyed truth-sayers.
Oh, God.
JBL reveals a video about what he calls the real Ron Simmons. And the video is JBL narrating over it, talking about what a terrible person Ron Simmons is. We get shown reconstructions of some stories that Ron Simmons has apparently told JBL about some of the things that he's done. And would you believe it? But Ron Simmons stole from an elderly woman.
Oh, disgraceful.
Would you believe it, honestly? Did you know that Ron Simmons was involved in a car accident and drove away for a hit and run?
To be fair, it's just for me, it feels like it's a reverse Matt fact. It's like instead of it being like, I'm great. It's basically like saying this is a Ron Simmons fact. He's a terrible human being. And that's what it feels like. And
to top it off, right? This is the latest story that he's found in notes. JBL has whatever. JBL reveals that that World Championship win in WCW that Ron Simmons is famous for.
Oh no, he's not going to go. He's not going to say anything about that, is he?
Well, it turns out Ron Simmons revealed to JBL apparently that Simmons paid off the current champion to take the loss, and he laid down for him, and it wasn't real.
I mean, breaking so many rules there.
And the idea is look, what I've got written here is
good old fashioned smear campaign. Good old fashioned smear campaign.
Political smear video on his opponent is the idea, and we are going to show reconstructions of an actor in a Ron Simmons face mask doing all these things.
Okay, I mean, to be fair, I'm surprised you don't do it like with the end of it with like JBL being like, look an American hero, and then said, like, or was it go all in with the political stuff and go vote JBL for victory over Ron Simmons or something like that?
We can do that, but what I have got written here is I want to end the video with a small print coming on the screen and a quick voiceover from a different voice that says, "This video has been brought to you by the friends and family and supporters of John Bradshaw Layfield." And that's it.
The really awesome thing about this is, I would happily I actually want to see that video. I want to see what, like, it's one of those video like things. Is like, it's all rubbish, but you just want to see how it would work.
Well,
man, that's a good one. I like that idea.
Here's the thing: we're not done with these.
It's got more. Oh, it's going to be.
There will be another one next week.
So basically, you're doing like. He's treating Ron Simmons like a political opponent.
Yeah.
Trying to smear his bad name.
He's using his money now, right? Look, this was before a match. JBL faced Maven. Poor Maven. 73 though. Wow. JBL starting to bring it now.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I heard a nice comment about Maven on one of our videos, but
yeah.
Because obviously I'm not a really sad person that reads every comment on your video.
Look, I made this World Brawl, and it was boosted by that. JBL can do this, of course, but being an amazing heel boosted it as well. So JBL in the heel role is the right call. 73 for a JBL Maven match, by the way.
Working out, mate. So I think everyone's hitting Kyle at the moment. Everyone's going for him, mate.
Everyone's coming up me right now. Okay, backstage is hopefully a pretty big segment. 80, well, this is Chavo, so 82 is about right. Chavo Guerrero is fuming backstage, right? Chavo is fuming about getting hit with a 619, and he's having a tantrum, and he's complaining, and he bumps in to Shawn Michaels. They bump into each other. They start arguing between themselves. They get broken up by officials, and they exchange words, and Chavo and Shawn. But in heads. Just laying down the tracks.
Laying down the groundwork. I like it. Okay.
Okay. Also backstage, we go to a different part where TNA are backstage, and they're talking about the fatal 4-way elimination match at WrestleMania, and the fact that A-Train isn't in it, the fact that Test isn't in it, and A-Train says, it's ridiculous. I could have beat John Cena earlier. I could have beat him, but Randy Orton kept distracting me. Okay. I can beat Booker T. I can beat Randy Orton, and I can beat Goldberg. I know I can. I can beat anyone in that match. And just at that moment, Booker T walks into the frame. He's suffering. You can say he's got like bandaged ribs at this point, but he walks into the frame and says, "Interesting." Actually, no, he wouldn't say that, would he? He would say, Tell me you did not just say that. I was just about to say that. What did it say? And they'd say, you said you can beat Booker T. Well, I've got good news for you. This injury isn't as bad as it looks. I am cleared to wrestle. So next week, let's see if you can get the job done. Booker T with a challenge to A-Train. And again, it looks like a match for next week, but we'll get confirmation in a bit, I assume. I expect.
He books the show, but he's like, well, I think we get confirmation. It's like, well, you do run it. But
we're moving towards main event scene now. So, The Undertaker cuts a backstage promo on Batista.
This is gonna get a good score, this show.
He tells Batista in his dark room, obviously, Kane in the background, you can see him. Go on.
Sorry, I was about to say, it's similar to those, what was it, sad, when they faced off DX and Bubs of Destruction kind of promos, when it was like he was in a dark alley with a dark room or something.
Yeah.
Is it similar to that?
Similar, yeah. Taker's going to tell Batista, listen, you're a big man and you've been impressive so far. So how about you leave your little cronies in the back. I'll leave my brother in the back. And we see who the best man is and settle this man to man. Taker, yes, he's in his dead man gear, but he's like, it's a little bit American biker Taker coming out a little bit here with the promo. And I think lacing that in with his character isn't a bad thing, because it helps his promos. So yeah, Taker wants Batista to leave Evolution behind for a one-on-one in the main event. We'll see, right? 85, pretty good. Right, let's announce some stuff for next week then. We are going to see Booker versus A-Train. Look, yeah, obviously we are going to see Booker versus A-Train on the go-home show to WrestleMania. We are going to see Shawn Michaels versus Chavo Guerrero on the go-home show to WrestleMania. But how's about this for a main event? We'll bring the people in, right? It is 8-man. It is Evolution, Orton, Batista and Flair teaming with Brock Lesnar against Cena, Goldberg and the Brothers of Destruction. Pretty good. I'm hoping it'll be pretty good. I'm hoping so. So, we saw Taker. What's Batista got to say? So, we go backstage to Evolution, where Batista is telling Ric Flair and telling Randy Orton that he doesn't want them out there. And that The Undertaker has challenged him and he has to answer it like a man. Batista tells Evolution to stay behind because he wants to do this on his own. Is it going to be a face turn for Batista yet? No. But this is just one moment in a long build for it, necessarily.
I mean, to be fair, I'm surprised. Basically, it feels like it's like a slow build, like the Wardlow stuff in AEW. A very, very slow build.
Yeah, very slow. Oh, look, Orton's not happy about it. Orton's frustrated, but Flair just sort of stops Orton from saying anything and says, look, if he needs to do this, let's let him do it. Let's see what he does. Flair's experience sort of stops Orton in the tracks. So let's see what it does, right? Main event. Undertaker.
There already. Wow.
Versus Batista.
It's got to be a 90. It's got to be a 90 psych. It's got potential to be one.
Let's find out. Main event gets a 91.
Yeah, it was on.
Batista was slowed by his injury, which is what we expected, but I've still got him in the main event. But it is what it is. Look, let's talk about the finish. There isn't a winner. I can't book a winner between these two at this point. Surely not. Do you know what I mean?
Well, both would be hurt. Well, yeah.
The match ends in a double count out when they beat each other up so badly on the outside that neither man can get back into the ring at a count of 10. It's a bit of a cop-out of a finish, but I kind of think it protects them both.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, you can, as you said before, you can do them kind of finishes on TV. It's just when they do it on pay-per-views, that's when it's like a cop-out. Yeah. I think you can always do it, but I mean, no one looks. I said it can be used. I mean, when I think double count out, I was thinking, suppose you didn't go for the old, go for the stage thing.
Thought about it, but I think that was, I think that would have been a bit too much for TV. Look, neither man makes it in. At that point, down come Evolution, dragging Batista to his feet. Kane comes down, drags The Undertaker to his feet. There is no brawl here because what we want to show is the visual that Batista has to be dragged to his feet by Evolution because he is struggling from the attack from The Undertaker. The Undertaker, though, also has to be dragged to his feet by Kane. Batista has took Taker to the very limit, and potentially the two biggest dogs on Monday Night Raw right now. There's nothing to split them.
So basically, it's to get off fashion. They said, as you showed before, they really like visual storytelling. Visually see it that both men have, like, just because it was a double count out, but they both look so strong because they basically beat the hell out of each other.
And I love that. It's an interesting little angle to me because what you just said there, they both look so strong. They do look strong by looking weak, if that makes sense. By this point, they're both men. Like, this will be the weakest you see Taker in a long time because this is an Undertaker that usually would just sit up and be okay.
It's a thing that's missing in WWE at times. Like, they keep putting themselves in situations where they kind of go, we've got two can't look weak. It's like you can have a situation because you don't really do draws, do they? Or like time limit draws and that. I really think they should bring back because again, as AEW has kind of proved, you can do those kind of things, and both people. It's a nice way of getting out of yourself creatively, a creative hole.
Yeah, time limit draw would have been what I'd have gone with if it was applicable, but obviously, like you say, they don't do it in WWE, so that would have been odd, right? So yeah, pretty good. A good show. Let's see what it gets. This should be the best rule we've had. It should be.
If this is not like, it's got potential to be like either high 90s or like 3, 4, maybe even higher.
87 is the highest.
Or 100.
So let's see what we do here.
I bet it's 100.
93. I'll take it. I'll take it. That is a show for you to look. If you beat that, just like last week, there's nothing I can do about it.
I'm intrigued to see if it does, because obviously I've got different plans for this week. So maybe it might. But to be fair, it's proving once again that we are just booking at just like a different level together. So I think that's your highest one.
It is highest Monday Night Raw. What's really pleasing to me is the amount of. It's not just look. Brock and Shawn, brilliant. Taker and Batista at the end, brilliant. And look, shout out Batista. He's coming along way quicker than I thought he would. But it's stuff like the Filthy Animals getting a 61 out of Caden Jindrak. JBL in a 73. Cena, by the way, bringing it.
I think you're having the same kind of reason that I was having. Where I was like getting those kind of scores because I kind of trust who to put against who and getting good scores against them.
Yeah.
And you know who to trust and who to put against who that can either make them look better or kind of can put on a bang of a match, a really good match. So, but I mean, again, it's So it looks like change of tact is paid dividends here.
Tiny bit, yeah. Remember, this is must win for me to have any chance of getting a WrestleMania main event. So let's see what Stu can bring. Okay, Blue Brand kicks off on the pre-show with CM Punk picking up a victory over Val Venus and more momentum for the Punkinator. He is a heel, you're bringing him in, so putting him against a veteran face here, so it's fine.
Yeah, well, I think again for yeah. So that just gives potential, for if you want to put him against someone high up in the card, if you get those kind of scores, you're going to get a decent level. So, but yeah, it's only pre-show. So, but again, I'm going to test him out to see what he can do against different opponents, see if we can get better scores. But yeah, 54, I'm liking that.
Okay, second pre-show match. I asked Stuart if we can do this because I'm just intrigued by it. We've made it an eye candy match. It's Tori Wilson versus Dawn Marie. It's got a 39. Okay, don't do that on your shows, Stu. Actually, that on your shows, Stu. Do it on the main show.
No, but you sit down and say, oh, you got a 39. But my God, look at Tori Wilson getting a 71.
No.
That is mental.
Although it is an eye candy match. So
I know, but if you can get a 71 eye candy match, you put a normal match, you get one about 60.
Sorry, let me just talk about this. It's an eye candy match, and the match completely fell apart as there was nobody to provide the psychology needed.
This game's that's not how eye candy matches work.
I don't think you understood what we were trying to do there. Jesus Christ!
What was that finisher? Was it handspring back elbow?
Handspring back elbow.
That's a finisher. Okay, let's move on.
Kalisto in disguise. Right, here we go. The opening of the show, though, he's starting in ring here, which is different. Triple H versus Billy Gunn for an 84.
Yeah, pretty happy with that. At 98. Oh, I think unbelievable. I mean, that is a crazy score there. But I mean, 84 again. I was expecting for who they were, like Billy Gunn and all that, and who going against for an 84. That's pretty decent. I think it's a really good start. Obviously, it's not like the heights of we expect, but yeah, again, this is kind of just a back and forth fight kind of match where it's just Billy Gunn obviously knows him very well, so we've kind of had that kind of spot. But yeah, ends as you expect. Triple H getting the pedigree for the win. But yeah, again, as always, the match is always what happens afterwards. That's the interesting thing.
Here we go. 84 again.
Oh, maybe we're going to have...
Interesting.
Maybe. I'm surprised. Anyway, yeah, so this basically is a short match in a sense. Then Triple H gets on the mic and basically starts going. So that was a tough match. But as always, I get the job done. And I mean, now I can take some time off because obviously there's no number one contender. No number contenders. Took them out last week. So and as I said last week, always have a plan, and it worked out to perfection last week. So basically, yeah, I don't have to be here. Don't have an opponent at WrestleMania. I'm just gonna maybe chill out. So see you later, everyone. And just when he's just about to walk out the ring, obviously you've got Mick Foley that doesn't stand for this kind of stuff, does he? So, and he's obviously got a beef with Triple H. Obviously, he comes out and sort of says, "What you did last week was terrible. How dare you try to derail the WrestleMania main event, possibly main event?" Just before I say that, yeah. So how dare you? So I have an idea. So if you're so scared of Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle, why don't you face them both on the same night? But to make it fair, it would happen only if Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle can beat your so-called hired help in singles matches tonight, and you are banned from ringside. Mick smiles, and then obviously Triple H is absolutely fuming after this bit. But basically, the idea is as you said, it's going to be 2 world title matches, right? So, but let's
call it as it is. It's WrestleMania 10 all over again.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't mind saying this on the street, on the YouTube video. Obviously, after a good back and forth chat with off screen last week, obviously came with this idea, and I thought it was really good, so I took it.
Yeah, you were.
So we do help each other out on this. We're not bitter enemies as much. Well, in maybe the main event he might hate me.
To be fair, the truth is, I told him we were going to do 5 matches each at WrestleMania. He was planning for 4. We came up with this. So let's see if Eddie and Kurt can get the job done, though, right?
Yeah, that's the plan. But yeah, so he said, but how I explained it was, but basically it's like it's Triple H done the whole heel thing where he takes up his contenders, think there won't be a match, but now because of his actions, he's now got a chance. He's probably got to face them both at WrestleMania. That's just like. So basically, he's got a chance. He has to have 2 matches on one night that he doesn't want. So, but yeah. So hopefully that sets up quite nicely. But yeah, 84 looks good. I mean, obviously it's not piped to your show with like the big score, but I think but opening matches in this segment done well. I hope to do better, but yeah,
it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I mean, look, for all those people that wondered if we would end Triple H's reign of terror, he's working twice at WrestleMania. It looks like so. Anyway, moving on.
Maybe.
Vitamin C cut a promo on Lance Storm for 71.
Yeah, so basically, this is, I think, crazy here in the setup. It's basically with, obviously, Chris Jericho and Christian. Obviously, there's a Lance Storm keeps getting involved in their either in matches the last couple of weeks or the last couple of months. They're fed up of Lance Storm, and they basically want him getting him in business. So tonight, Jericho's going to teach him a lesson. He will never, ever forget. So, yeah, basically that's what it is. Just they're fed up of him getting involved and they're going to take him out of the match. And obviously, so sets up for the match later on.
Mark Henry promo on Eddie Guerrero for 67, thanks to the help of Theodore Long.
Yeah, I mean, I like this one. It's Mark Henry. I'm slowly building him anyway. So, but yeah, it's kind of so like glad he attacked Eddie last week. So now everyone's talking about him and talking about how much he is a threat. He's a commodity and that kind of stuff. And obviously tonight he's going to mess with his dream of becoming world champion by making sure he never turns up to WrestleMania. And I think I like this line, become the first member of the Hall of Pain.
Okay, we're doing it early. I like it. Right then, Eddie Guerrero versus Mark Henry. If Eddie wins, WrestleMania title shot against Triple H, or whoever the champion is, we don't know at that point.
Maybe.
It's confirmed if he beats Mark Henry. So, he beats Mark Henry. Gets an 81 out of Mark Henry. Well done, Eddie Guerrero.
I mean, what I'm loving about this is the situation we got Triple H getting a 90 or a high 90s so against Billy Gunn and getting like an 81. This getting 91 and getting an 81 makes me think that when they face off against each other, oh my. Ooh. But yeah, I think this one was kind of a situation where again, I'll just put this again. It's a great match. You got Mark Henry did hit their world's strongest slam, but Eddie Guerrero just kicks out. But I'm thinking just to make it, obviously we need to, like I said, throw an object that probably kind of works for Eddie Guerrero. But
so I put a tainted win because of the finish you've written down. So
yeah. when I think about it, the originally finished like putting the foot on the rope, but now when I think about it, the idea of maybe the old two chairs, ref sees him with one, uses the other.
Yeah, and it kind of protects Henry. It says Eddie Guerrero, you know what, he had to use the chair to try and beat a guy like Mark Henry.
Yeah, you got it, because you can't. It's like you can hit a frog splash, but it might not be enough. So got it. But again, it's like that's why Eddie Guerrero's so special, because the only person that can basically do heel tactics, but be beloved. So we loved him. But yeah, he won. I'm happy with
that. Right, okay, pretty good. Trish Leeds got a promo on Molly Holly for 62.
Yeah, again, it's I might be replaying the same storyline, the same promo, but it's kind of what I'm going to go for. Basically, yeah, they're basically talking about Molly's situation again. Keep accusing them that they've had being part of this, Jazz and Gail Kim disappearing, and I'm kind of fed up with this. And obviously, they've got nothing to do with it. So yeah, they're going to fight tonight, and tag team match they've got tonight against Molly Holly and Ivory. Yes, it's going to finally shut her mouth. And for all the stuff she's been saying, they've got nothing to do with this whole thing, but. Yeah, it's basically what it is. They're fed up with it, as you would be if continuously asking you questions about something that you're not involved in. Or are they? We don't know.
No, of course. I'm just checking. My stream went off for a second then. We're good. I'll just make sure we hadn't dropped out. Okay, we'll go to a Mick Foley promo. Mick Foley segment with Lance Storm for 85. That's better.
That's more like it. Kind of what I liked about this kind of storyline. Like, I like the idea of Lance Storm's action hasn't been unnoticed, because obviously he hasn't got a win, or he's been put in high profile matches but keep losing. But because of his performance, he's kind of stood out from it. And I also want to kind of set up that obviously I don't think I mentioned last week, but obviously he said 5 other men, but he hasn't renounced them yet. Who he's going to face. So this one I like. Put a bit more spin on the match, where basically Mick Foley's saying he's been really impressed with Lance Storm, his work last couple of weeks. Kind of gone into that embodies what Smackdown is all about. Giving opportunities to people that haven't had the opportunities before. So he's put another spin on this match, saying if he beats Chris Jericho tonight, he will be added into that TLC match at WrestleMania for the US title.
Okay.
Just to put a little extra spin on it.
And the match is next, Jericho and Lance Storm. This probably, for me, looking at what you've got, could be match of the night. Will Lance Storm go to WrestleMania? He will. 79, it's not quite match of the night. This is, look, it's not bad, actually. It's a screwy finish. Jericho's performance is pretty good. Lance Storm's pretty good for his popularity, actually, considering his popularity is, 56, 57, something like that.
Yeah. But, I mean, for getting a kind of... But again, that's why it's quite impressed that you can put it in those kind of matches. It's only on, I don't know what to expect for this match, to be fair. I was like, if I was going to get an 80, I'd be happy. So, but yeah, obviously, let's not take this away. It's his big. Lance Storm's finally got a big win. He's finally got that win, because obviously he's kind of been the nearly man for the last couple of months. Going against everyone, just losing, but yeah, because it's this kind of match who kind of ends with kind of Christian trying to distract the ref, as you expect. Without seeing it, he tries to hit. I put here he tries to hit Storm with the lead pipe, but kind of out of nowhere. Obviously, basically Storm misses. He gets out of the way and then hits a super kick. He says a submission here, but that's I think that's his finisher. I'm still not unsure with Storm. Gets the win in that sense that way, but. Yeah, I'm happy. I just think when I was booking this, I thought he needs to. If anyone can take a loss that it wouldn't hurt as much, it would be Jericho.
No, I agree.
And
yeah.
So Lance Storm finally gets a big win, but
doesn't always work out for him, does it? 71 post-match segment.
Yeah, it's basically didn't last long, because obviously he's celebrating the win, and obviously Noah Jericho and Christian attack him from behind, obviously, and then obviously usual thing, beat down. Then obviously RVD comes out to save, but obviously Jericho and Christian still get the upper hand, and obviously just a tease of the match we can't possibly have at TLC. Obviously, it wouldn't be a TLC match or some sort of variation of it with some sort of concerto. So I like the idea of just like either from both or RVD and but basically they both get a concerto by Jericho and Christian.
Lovely.
Because obviously it's nice homage to TLC match. You've got to have a concerto. If Christian's involved or Edge is involved, you've got to have a concerto, right?
Exactly.
It's in the bylaws.
World's Greatest Tag Team and Paul Heyman cut a promo on the Dudleys for 58.
Yeah, I mean, this is, we kind of set up, like, obviously last week we kind of set up with Paul Heyman talking about the grand plan of trying to like get revenge on those damn Dudleys. It's all part of the plan. But obviously last week it all went to plan, and then this week we're gonna we're gonna keep calling him his brother, because obviously that was a weird thing of wrestling where when you're not brothers, you still. It's a weird thing of wrestling, right? But yeah, it's like last week I got, I'm gonna go. We went after Bubba and we took him out. We got a little bit of revenge. This week, Devon's next, and we're gonna take him out to prove a point. So
the match itself, then Charlie Haas and Devon Dudley gets a 61.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I mean, you're not expecting like 70s or 80s between these two, But yeah, again, this is I've kind of put here nothing special in the sense, because it wouldn't be like, it would be a quite, as we put it as a brawl match, so it probably would be a quite physical match. But yeah, I put like a roll up, as I said there, simple. Devon gets the win. Obviously, Charlie Haas is fuming. But basically, it's what happens. I think afterwards that I think will be interesting after the match.
63.
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, I think it's solid scores there. I mean, but this thing I've just set up in this situation. Obviously, last week the Dudleys got a 3D by World's Great Tag Team, so they're like, this week, obviously Devon got the win. They get the upper hand, and the Dudleys hit a 3D on Charlie Haas. It's a little bit of payback for what they did last week. Just to kind of
get the heat back on the Dudleys after taking a bit of a
because as obviously I did it when I did with the Bashams. I kind of just basically, it was all Dudleys, basically. But this is more even fused, so I thought, get a bit of revenge. So
cool. Okay, Molly Holly and Ivory got a promo.
Perhaps again, it's the same thing. Molly Holly kind of had enough of this situation. She wants to know answers. She wants to find out where her friends are. And basically tonight she's going to basically go, either it's going to be Lita or Trish, going to beat the answers out of them. And she's going to be assisted by her good friend Ivory. Help her do that, and that's basically kind of how sets up the again. I've set up kind of the next match, but
big tag. Yeah. Molly Holly and Ivory against Trish and Lita for 58. Okay, Ivory really brought this down. They had zero chemistry as partners as well.
Well, it's a risk, but it could be worse. Again, this is a match maybe not score wise, but I like the kind of finish of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I liked. So basically, what it is, it said it was a good match. Maybe the score doesn't say that in there, but Molly was more intense. Was trying to beat. Whenever Trish or Lita's in the ring, kind of beating them up, really going intense on them, and then kind of like shouting at them, like so you can hear it, like saying where are they type thing, to kind of put a point. But then kind of at the end of the match, obviously, I think it was like I put Molly Holly's just about to win against Lita or something, just about to hit a finisher. And then all of a sudden, two figures at the top of the stage come out. At the top of the stage, and obviously everyone's like, "Who's that?" And then out of nowhere, Jazz and Gail Kim have turned up. They've come out and coming out the stage like confused, like someone's just released them from being a hostage type situation. And then Molly Holly's like, "What?" Like as a friend would, like literally runs down to the ring. One's down to check if they're okay, but obviously Ivory's like, what the hell? What about me? And then out of nowhere, you got Lita hits Twist of Fate, and gets to win that sense. That's what I've put anyway. But I think
look, Trish and Lita put in some pretty good performances. Molly weren't bad. Ivory brought it down. It is what it is. Post match 56, Aspire are back together.
Indeed, they are. But they're not the same in the sense that Gail Kim and Jazz are not the same. Because obviously at the end of this match, at the end of it, obviously we cut to the kind of stage where kind of like, basically like Molly Holly asking them, "Where have you been?" And they're basically like saying nothing, like, they've been traumatized type situation. Mm-hmm. What the hell? But they obviously can't talk, but they do have a note. They give obviously give the note to Molly Holly, and what it says is, See you at WrestleMania. And then you got Molly Holly looking mortified, like saying, "Oh my God, like what's going on here. So, yeah, so maybe we'll find out. Maybe it's Trish, maybe it's Liv. Maybe we'll find out the true cop at WrestleMania.
Okay, interesting. Kurt Angle cuts a promo on Scott Steiner for an 88. That's going to boost the show.
Yeah, I like that. Kurt Angle could always deliver. Gotta love Kurt Angle. Yeah, I mean, this was kind of, you got Kurt Angle basically talking about how he's this close to beating Eddie last week, you know, and this is I put in this one for idiot just because, but I said like this freak, you know, just to really put it now in the coffin of Scott Steiner. Took this for me. Yes, I have another opportunity tonight, but I don't appreciate him getting involved in my business. So tonight I'm going to make you tap, and you're going to be screaming in pain. Kurt Angle is really, yeah. He's going after Scott. He's fed up. He wasn't happy what he did last week, and he wants revenge. I
agree, Kurt Angle. He is a freak. Scott Steiner promo and Kurt Angle. No.
This gives potential. This gives potential for the match. Then, if this is going to be interesting, it's going to be interesting. Okay, so basically, while Carl was, I'm assuming is shell shocked or unhappy. Basically, it's. Scott Steiner basically says about Trip. It didn't take much for Triple H to convince me to attack you last week. You were like let's go by the old you're everything wrong with wrestling, that kind of stuff, or that kind of pro wrestling. And tonight I'm going to show you why people like me beat up people like you. And sets up the main event that I would say, Kyle, are you there?
Oh yeah.
Are you back? Yeah.
If this gets a 98, you win the week because of it. I swear to God. Right, Kurt Angle, Scott Steiner. Will Kurt Angle go to WrestleMania? He will. An 88.
Yeah. That is
bullshit. Look, I'm still confident I've won the week, but my God.
No, I mean, again, it's like situation. Maybe you have, but to be fair, with the way I was I was thinking like this was a risk. Like because obviously putting this match on was like it is a calculated risk in a sense, because Scott Steiner. You don't know what to expect in a sense in the ring. Maybe he's getting like 90s in promos as we're finding out. But I mean,
I will say something, right? As much as I hate Scott Steiner, this version of Scott Steiner, the Steiner that's a tag team in the early 90s, right? The All-American wrestler Scott Steiner versus the All-American wrestler Kurt Angle. That sounds like a fun match. Yeah, this version is not an 88. No.
But you got to give me some credit. I've been trying to book them. I mean, to be fair, it's interesting that it's worked out, because obviously, but yeah,
it's all about Kurt here. 96. Kurt wins with the ankle lock clean. He's going to WrestleMania.
So let me get this straight. So I've got Triple H on the high 90s. You've got Eddie Guerrero on high 90s, on 90s, and you've got Kurt Angle on 90s. Oh my God, this has got potential to be.
Should be interesting. We're going to end the show with a show closing brawl for a 92.
Yep, happy with this. So obviously we put a set up that Triple H can't, get involved in the match, but obviously the match is over now. So basically he comes down. Triple H tries to attack Kurt, and Eddie saves him, that kind of stuff. Then basically, as similar to what your thing is as well, similar visual storytelling in a sense, because I like visual storytelling too. When basically Eddie comes to the save, and then we have a situation. Obviously Eddie and Kurt still kind of have beef, obviously after Kurt attacked him. So, and I like the idea of basically like they're both facing off against each other, and then you got Triple H, I think, on the floor, like looking up at them, looking afraid, because he's like, oh my God, what have I done? I had a chance to have a one-on-one match. Now looks like I'm facing them both in singles matches. So it's like he's made his problems 10 times worse by getting involved. So 92. I mean, I'm intrigued to see it. It's good. I don't think it will beat your show, but if it could get a 90 or like a high 80, I would be very happy, because again, this was a risky show this week.
Yeah. So look, the logic says to me is you've not had a segment rating higher than 93. You haven't had a segment rating higher than 92. To be fair, so by that logic, you shouldn't get a 93. But I also know this game likes to kill me. So, 93 to beat, SmackDown gets an 89. Considering some of the matches on that show, that's incredible.
I got to be honest. Yes, I didn't win. Obviously, congratulations on winning this
Thank
week.
you.
But I'm just really happy that show was again when I was booking it, because again it's like I was thinking, okay, it's kind of putting Scott Steiner and Kurt Angle in a main event, like, is a risk. That's, I know it sounds silly now, but like there is a risk. It's not a variable I know if it'll work. And obviously I didn't have like a marquee match that I had like a couple of weeks ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and to get an 89 out of that, I mean, I think it's just like, yes, I'm taking a little bit more risks, but yes, it don't work in this week, but it's paying off with 89s, high 80s. So
to be honest with you, you're actually in a situation similar to me in last episode, where you put on a really good show somehow, but somehow Raw was better this week. So that's 2-1, 1 week to go. I'm going to win again. That's the way it goes. Come on, that's better, isn't it? That's much better. What a show from us, by the way. 93, the highest rated show we've had in the whole save. What a show. Taker and Batista, very, very nice. Very, very, very good. Brock and Booker T, despite the mistake, it was still very, very good. We're setting up stuff for the Intercontinental Championship. That should be a hell of a fatal four-way at WrestleMania, and I am looking forward to it. Look, Smackdown had a surprisingly good show. Like, Kurt Angle and Scott Steiner again, that is ridiculous. They know what they're doing. There's a template that works that we're both following at the moment, and it's working. So let's see what happens on Wednesday, where it all comes to a head. Who will get the WrestleMania main event? Will it be your boys over here on the red brand at Team Raw, or Stuart enjoy himself on the blue brand? Let's find out on Wednesday. If you like the video, drop a like on it. Until next time, peace.